I would like to thank the India Foundation for inviting me to the inaugural session of the 5th International Dharma Dhamma Conference on the theme Sat-Chit-Ananda and Nirvana. In English, it says Sat means truth, and Chit consciousness, and Ananda is a bliss, and Nirvana as an enlightenment. In Dharma Dhamma traditions, I am most delighted to be in this historic and holy city of Rajgir. Indeed, it's my honor and privilege to be here among the august gathering of distinguished delegates and eminent personalities. I feel truly blessed to be in this holy place, which I feel makes this conference even more special. I cannot think of a better venue than this beautiful city to hold this important Dharma Dhamma conference. The sacredness and sanctity of this place had inspired His Holiness, the 70th J. Khenpo, the Supreme Abbot of Bhutan, to compose a poem. The poem describes the interlinkages between Bhutan and India. And I would like to quote a few lines. India, the ocean of Dharma. Bhutan, the flowing stream. May this continuous flow of Dharma stream merging into the ocean like sacred places of India always adorn the world. May this harmonious coexistence always adorn the world. As a part of the Golden Jubilee celebration of diplomatic relations between Bhutan and India, a world peace prayer presided over by His Holiness was successfully held last December in Rajgir. The foundation laying ceremony of a Buddhist monastery in Rajgir was also held at the time. It is indeed a great honor for the Bhutanese people to have a monastery constructed in this holy city. This religious interlinkages is not new. The close connection between Bhutan and India in terms of shared religion, cultural heritage, goes back centuries. In fact, much before diplomatic relations were the norm. The pristine waters of the holy, lofty mountains in Bhutan had fed the fertile plains in India, while spiritual nourishment from India had enriched the verdant valleys in Bhutan. The excellent relationship that exists between Bhutan and India draws its strength from the rich tapestry of our shared Buddhist and cultural heritages as well as historical linkages. Located in the southern part of Himalayas, Bhutan and India share not just national boundaries, but history and civilization as well. Some 2,600 years ago, an Indian prince changed the way people viewed the world through his teachings, Buddhism. We in Bhutan have always looked upon India as a special country, the land of Lord Buddha and Guru Padmasambhava. As we all know, Buddhism spread from its cradle in India and shaped the whole view of the people in Bhutan and neighboring countries. Thus, the interaction between Bhutan and India began with a soul no less than Buddha himself. So the journey of special relationship between the two countries can be traced to close linkages in Buddhism since time immemorial. India is the birthplace of 4 major religions, and therefore no country is better placed than India to lead the conference on the subject of Dharma, its values and traditions. Bhutan deeply appreciates the initiatives of the India Foundation and Nalanda University in organizing this conference. I must confess that I am not an expert on Buddhism, nor any religion, and therefore my contribution to this conference would be rather limited. However, I must say that having an in-depth discourse on entire spectrum of our reality, knowledge and values to understand the nature, meaning and significance of human existence is paramount if we are to forge the common aspiration of humanity, a happy, secure and prosperous world. I am sure everyone here will agree that all religions, whether it is Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, espouse the values of love, kindness, compassion, non-violence and tolerance. At this time, we, humankind, is going through a series of crises, including climate change, poverty, wars, etc. Religion and its values can be positive change agent for forging a world that is harmonious and happy. We all know that 21st century is faced with more problems related to depression, stress, loneliness, even suicide, alcoholic, and a very frustrating, unhappy life. And even children taking the parents, it is now experienced everywhere that children are taking their parents to court for imprisonment for some cases. This is the kind of a stage that we have arrived at. In the past, we based our paradigm of the development in the might. Might is right. Later we found that this is not working. We are more civilized, more educated. So the paradigm was shifted to human mind, brain. Education was given. We became more civilized, more educated, more aware of each other's rights and wants. Then both men and female and male, both could contribute to the nation building. And then now, even today, now more problem is, as I have described before, that we are faced with more mental problems now. Therefore, it is time for us to look for another paradigm that we should look at love and compassion, concern for the well-being of others. These are the issues that I think we have to look at. We would like every world citizen to have a peace and harmonious life. All want happiness. Nobody wants suffering. If we look at we check, I think we are same human being. And I think this is irrespective of religion, status, race. Fundamentally, we are same human being. And this should be our heart meeting point. And therefore, this conference, which is themed as a truth, I think truth is the reality. Truth from the Buddhism point of view is impermanent. Cause and effect. You sow a seed of an orange, you have an orange. You sow a seed of a good acting and good thinking, you have a good life. So this is the truth and this is the reality. I think the meeting here, the conference here will deliver on these topics and issues and find out a solution where every children of our today can learn in a school about not only about the biology and the physics and chemistry, but about the consciousness, about the mind. Without understanding the consciousness, which matters the most, we are learning about the chemistry and physics is a secondary. First, I think primary is we have to learn about the consciousness, which need to be developed a curriculum in every schools so that our children, future citizens, learn about ourselves. When we know about ourselves, then only we can, which experience our suffering and happiness can then be understood by many of our future citizens. Therefore, I would like to thank this organizers conference, and also would like to urge that more deliberation should be focused on the human mind and on thought, so that we become a compassionate and love to everyone for our peace and prosperity. Bhutan has always been guided by Buddhist values of kindness, love, compassion, non-violence, and tolerance to promote happiness and well-being. Our development philosophy of gross national happiness is to a large extent anchored in these values of Buddhism. I firmly believe that the same values are also espoused by all other religions. In this sense, all religions share the same universal values that are essential for creating well-being and happiness. I believe that these values espoused by all religions are quintessential for shaping a future of humankind we all aspire for. Today, the world is constantly in a rat race to accelerate economic growth, and conspicuous consumption has become the norm. Therefore, destiny of humanity seems grim, because human wants, we all agree, are insatiable. In other hand, resources are limited and non-renewable. It is against this backdrop that concept of gross national happiness finds its relevance. GNH strives to strike a balance between unrestrained materialistic growth and spiritual and psychological well-being. It does not in any way claim to create happiness, for happiness is a personal endeavor. More importantly, happiness is relative. What GNH attempts to do is to create an enabling environment so that individuals can pursue happiness. I hope that development philosophy of gross national happiness, which is, in the words of His Majesty the King, development with values, would in some way contribute towards inculcating good human values in shaping a happy future for the world. Excellencies, I am confident that this conference will be a huge success. I wish all the best in successful deliberation, which I am sure will continue beyond this conference. It is only through continued dialogue, concerted efforts, that we will be able to promote happiness and welfare of the humanity. Thank you for your attention, and Tashi Dale.